Hello, Alazites. Hello, everyone. This is Vinita from Language Pantheon, and welcome to our channel, German Ki Baat. In today's episode of German Ki Baat, I'm going to give you an overview of Goethe C1 exam pattern. So, without wasting much time, let's get started. As you can see here, like A1, A2, B1, and B2, C1 is also divided into our 4 parts, or we say 4 modules: Lesen, Hören, Schreiben, and Sprechen. Lesen is a 25 marks, Hören 25 marks, Schreiben 25 marks, and Sprechen 25 marks. So we can say each module is of 25 marks. And in total, C1 exam is of 100 marks. Now we move on to a passing mark. In order to clear C1 exam, one needs to score minimum 60 marks. But there's a catch in this. And what's the catch? Let's see. One has to score minimum 45 marks in your written parts. That is Lesen, Hören, and Schreiben, and minimum 15 marks in your Sprechen part. So 45 plus 15 is equal to 60. Now let's suppose one has scored 50 marks in your written parts, that is Lesen, Hören, and Schreiben, and 14 marks in your Sprechen part. So 50 plus 14 is equal to 64. Although one has scored above 60, still one hasn't cleared your C1 exam. Why is it so? This is so because the person hasn't scored minimum 15 marks in your Sprechen part. This case can be vice versa. Now let's suppose one has scored minimum 40 marks, one has scored in your written part, that is Lesen, Hören, and Schreiben, and one has scored 20 marks in your Sprechen part. So 40 plus 20 is equal to 60. Although one has scored 60 marks, that is the minimum requirement, but still one hasn't cleared your C1 exam. Why? Because the person hasn't scored your minimum 45 marks in your written part. And then, unfortunately, one has to repeat the whole paper again. But one should not be disappointed or hopeless. Rather, I'll say with full diligence, sincerity, dedication, and regularity, one can clear your C1 exam. Since it's a C1 exam, I have 4 C's for you. Now, these 4 C's correspond to your 4 modules. Now, the first C. First C is carefulness. One has to read the text very carefully. So, this carefulness corresponds to a first style, that is your Lesen. Read the text very carefully, read the text between the lines, and understand the text in context. Now the second C, concentration. And this concentration is for our second module, that is your Hören. While listening, one should be fully concentrated and one should not be distracted by the external factors during your Hören. Now the third C. Third C is correctness. And this correctness corresponds to your Schreiben. Means one should try to write correctly, means whatever one is writing in your Schreiben part, try to write correct. Now the last but not the least, the last or the fourth C is confidence. And this confidence corresponds to our Sprechen. While speaking, one should be confident. When one is confident, then one is able to express his or her ideas with clarity. So these were your 4 C's, and I hope you remember these 4 C's forever. Now, we move on to our first part, or we say the first style or the first module, that is Lesen. As you can see, Lesen is divided into 3 parts: Lesen Teil 1, Lesen Teil 2, and Lesen Teil 3. Total time allocated to Lesen is your 70 minutes, and total marks or the whole of Lesen is of 25 marks. Now let's discuss Lesen Teil 1. The Aufgabe in your Lesen Teil 1 is umformulierte Text mit Wortlücken, which means in this style you'll get a long text of around 500 words. Then for the Aufgabe, you have the Zusammenfassung, the summary of this text of, let's say, half a page. In this summary, you will be having 10 blanks. Now you have to fill in the missing information in these blanks. But per blank, you can write only one word. The word that you need to write or fill can be of any type. means verb, adjective, or your noun. The words, it's not necessary the words you can derive directly from the text. Some words, of course, you can derive directly from the text, and some you cannot derive directly from the text. The words which you cannot derive directly from the text, you have to fill with your understanding and with your knowledge. Total time allocated to lesen Teil 1 is your 25 minutes. You have to keep in mind that you use these 25 minutes very wisely. You have to divide these 25 minutes very wisely. 10 to 15 minutes you can keep for the reading of the text, then 5 minutes or 10 minutes for the reading of the Zusammenfassung and filling your answer. If possible, spare at least 5 minutes to cross check your answers. Means whatever you have written, that proofreading is must. So this was your Lesenteil 1. Now we move on to our Lesenteil 2. I'll say most of the students find Lesenteil 2 the most difficult one out of all three. But with practice, one can crack Lesenteil 2. What you have in your Lesenteil 2? In your Lesenteil 2, you have to fill a raster. What's your raster? I'll tell you later. Total time allocated to Lesenteil 2 is your 30 minutes, and this tile is of 10 marks. In this tile, we'll be having 4 small texts on particular topic. Text A, text B, text C, and text D. Now let's see. This is your text A. Then you have text B, text C, and text D. Then you'll be having 5 Themenschwerpunkte. Let's see here. Here you can see 5 Themenschwerpunkte. Thema 1, äußere Erscheinung des Partners oder der Partnerin. Thema 2, gemeinsame Interessen. Thema 3, Charakter oder Verhalten des Partners oder der Partnerin. Thema 4, eigene Wunschhaltung oder Erwartungshaltung an den Partner oder die Partnerin. Thema 5, Bewertung der Beziehung danach aus Sicht des Autors oder der Autorin. Now what's your job in this style? In this style, as I told you, you have to fill a raster. Let's see. This is actually your Untitled, but this grid pattern is called your raster, and you have to fill this. So here we have Thema 1, Thema 2, Thema 3, Thema 4, and Thema 5. Then we have text A, text B, text C, and text D. If text A has said something about Thema 1, write it over here. If text B has said something about Thema 1, write it over here. If text C has said something about Thema 1, write over here. If text D has said something about Thema 1, write it over here. And minimum 1 answer you'll be having under each thema and maximum 3 answers. So as you can see here, 20 rows are there, but only 10 correct answers are there. That answers can be in any ratio, but minimum 1 answer under each thema and maximum 3 answers under each thema you'll be having. Now let's suppose one has found 11 answers or written 11 answers out of nowhere. In this case, only first 10 answers will be corrected. The last answer means the 11th answer will be cancelled irrespective of the case that this answer was correct. Each answer is of 1 mark. 1 into 10 is equal to 10. So you have to be very careful in this style, and you have to do this style very sensibly and carefully. Points to be noted in this style. In this style, you will not be writing the full-fledged answers. Answers you will be writing only in your key words. Most importantly, don't forget to transfer answers to your Antwortbogen. Like some students, they mark the answers while reading the text and they think, okay, at the end, we'll transfer answers to your Antwortbogen. But due to shortage of time or any case, they get into panic, and at the end, while transferring their answers, they mess up everything. So in this style, time management is very important. Divide your time in your reading, read these texts, mark down the answers, and then timely transfer your answers to your Antwortbogen. This was your Lesenteil 2. Now we move on to our last style, that is your Lesenteil 3. Lesenteil 3, I'll say, is pretty manageable. And it's only for 5 marks. You have 15 minutes for this style. What do you have in this style? In this style, it's written, you can text mit Fragen zum formellen Wortschatz. In this style, you'll get a text. And in this text, 10 blanks are there. For each blank, you have 4 options. Option A, then B, C, and D. And then you have to choose the correct option out of all 4 for your blank. Means first blank, then the correct option out of these 4, then the second blank. In this way, you have to write down the answers for each and every blank. So this style, I'll say it's pretty manageable. And this style, basically, they are testing your vocab. The text that you have in this style is of around 300 words. And this style is for 15 minutes and each answer is of 0.5 marks. So 0.5 into 10 is equal to 5. So this was an overview of your Lesen in C1 Lesen. Now we move on to our second module, that is your Hören. Hören is divided into 2 parts, Hören Teil 1 and Hören Teil 2. The total time allocated to Hören is around 40 minutes. And Hören is of 25 marks. Firstly, I'll discuss Hören Teil 1 with you. In Hören Teil 1, what do you have? Hören Teil 1 is your Notizen machen und Stichpunkte notieren. And this style is of 10 marks. And this style you'll be listening only once, which means track will be played only once. And the duration of the track will be around 12 to 15 minutes. Now, before the track is played, you will get 90 seconds to read your Aufgabe. And while reading, you have to mark down the keywords in your Aufgabe. Read your Aufgabe very thoroughly. And try not to lose the concentration while hören. What do you have in this style? In this style, you listen a conversation between 2 people. The situation is always that a person calls his or her friend or the known one, or he makes a call in the office or school. He has a few questions and he needs a couple of information. What you get in the exam? In the exam, you will get your Übersichtsblatt and you need to make the corresponding notes. In this blatt, you will be having 2 examples and 10 items. And each answer is of 1 mark. The 10 items can be of different forms. Either question is asked to you which you need to answer, or the half part of the question is given to you and you have to complete it. If you missed any answer, then don't get into panic. Rather, complete the rest of the answers. So this was your Hören Teil 1 and now we move on to our Hören Teil 2. In your Hören Teil 2, you have Hörtext und dazu multiple choice Aufgabe. The track in this style will be played twice and the duration of this track means the duration of this Hören Teil 2 is around 25 minutes. And the track in this style will be played twice. For the first time, you listen the whole text and then in your paragraphs. The number of paragraphs are not fixed and generally they are 3 to 4 paragraphs. Before the track is played, you get 90 seconds to read your Aufgabe. As I said earlier, while reading your Aufgabe, underline the keyword. In your Aufgabe, you will be having 10 items and each item has 3 options, option A, B and C. Now you have to choose the correct option, means the correct answer out of these 3 options given to you. And each answer is of 1.5 marks. So 1.5 into 10 is equal to 15. What do you have in this style? In this style, generally there is a conversation, we say, or interview between 2 to 3 people. And on the basis of that, questions are given to you. When the text is played for the first time, try to mark down all the answers or the answers which are clear to you people. For the remaining answers or for the cross-checking of the answers, wait for the second time. And then you can rectify your answers or you can mark down the remaining answer. I said earlier As I said earlier, in your hearing, concentration is most important. So don't let yourself be distracted by the external factors and give your best. So this was your hearing. Now we move on to your next module, that is your Schreiben. Schreiben. Now Schreiben is divided into two parts, Schreiben Teil 1 and Schreiben Teil 2. Total time allocated to Schreiben is your 80 minutes and Schreiben is of 25 marks. First I'll discuss Schreiben Teil 1 with you. Schreiben Teil 1 is your graphic beschreibung, means your describer graph. And then this graph means you'll be writing of around the description of this around 200 words. Now here, zwei Themen stehen zur Auswahl, sie müssen ein Thema arbeiten. Before you start with your graph, you will get a Themenpapier on which two topics will be there, Thema A and Thema B. Brief information about Thema A and Thema B is given to you. And then you have 2 minutes to read and decide on which topic you'll be writing. You'll be writing in your, on your Thema A or Thema B. Once your 2 minutes are over, then you need to inform your concerned examiner on which topic you'll be writing. For example, if you have chosen your Thema A, then you'll get the corresponding Aufgabenblatt for Thema A. If Thema B, then for Thema B you'll be getting. And on this Aufgabenblatt, you'll be having your graph. Under this graph, there is Arbeitsauftrag with 5 items. And then you have to answer these 5 items with respect of your graph. See? Here. So the total time allocated to graphic beschreibung is your 65 minutes. You not randomly start writing your graph. You have to divide your time. You have to invest 5 to 10 minutes for the analysis of the graph and understanding of the question. Means what's given in the graph, the main points in the graph, then all the items given to you, how you'll be answering these items, in which order, and everything. And then after means 5 to 10 minutes, then you'll invest your time in your writing. The most important thing, you have to invest at least 5 to 10 minutes for the proofreading of your Schreiben. Means whatever you have written, you have to give time for your proofreading. The most important thing, you have to cover all the items, means all the questions given to you. It's not you're answering only 3 to 4. If you don't understand anything, then it's a different case. Otherwise, the items given to you, you have to handle all these items with respect of the graph. Then I said earlier, graphic beschreibung is of 200 words. Means don't exceed 200 words or maximum 210, but don't write too lengthy graph. The graph means the graphic beschreibung should be well structured. Means the text coherence. Whatever you're writing, there should be a link between that. Means if you're switching from one point to another or changing your paragraph. So these points, this text Aufbau, text coherence is very important. You have to start with your Einleitung, then your Hauptteil will be covering all your answers or the items. Then you have your Schluss, the ending, the conclusion of the graph. While writing, pay attention to the spelling errors, avoid your spelling errors, then the basic mistakes like nouns writing small, adjectives writing capital, then verbs, the first alphabet of a verb is capital, then means errors should be avoided. Use good vocab, use good grammar, like this is your C1 level. So use C1 level grammar, C1 level vocab. It's not only C1 level grammar you'll be using, of course. Means good grammar so that whatever you're writing means the teacher, the examiner is able to understand that thing. And then last but not the least, the proofreading. When you run with your graphic beschreibung, do the proofreading and don't submit your answer sheet without your proofreading. So this was your Schreiben Teil 1. Now we move on to your Schreiben Teil 2. So what's in your Schreiben Teil 2? Schreiben Teil 2 ist die Umformung eines Briefs mit Lücken zu formellem Wortschatz und Grammatik. So in this style, basically your vocab and grammar knowledge is tested. Here in this style, you'll be having two letters, one official or we say the formal and one informal. Informal letter is complete, but formal one is incomplete. In the formal letter, you'll be having 10 blanks. Per blank, you have to write 1 to 2 words. And these blanks you have to fill on the basis of the text, means the letter, the informal letter given to you. So, firstly, you have to read your informal letter thoroughly. After reading this, you'll get an overview of the incident or the experience that has been portrayed in the formal one in different style. In the second letter, or we say the formal letter, words are no more personal, rather formal. Each blank is of 0.5 marks. So we have 10 blanks in total. So 0.5 into 10 is equal to 5. So this style, or we say Schreiben-Teil 2, is of 5 marks. Again, in this text, answers cannot be derived directly from the text, means from the informal one. You have to understand your informal letter, and then with your knowledge, with your comprehension, with your understanding, you have to fill in the answers in your formal one. Lastly, you have to write the words or the expression which are adequate to the formal one. Informal words, or we say informal expressions or personal expressions, cannot be used in this style. We say in the formal one. So be careful with the choice of your words. So this was your Schreiben. This was your C1 Schreiben. Now we move on to our next style, or the last style, that is your expression. Expression. Expression is again divided into two parts, Expression-Teil 1 and Expression-Teil 2. The total time allocated to expression is your 12 minutes, and the whole of expression is of 25 marks. Firstly, I'll discuss your Expression-Teil 1. In your Expression-Teil 1, you'll be having your mini Vortrag. And then it's given, ein Thema, über das Sie einen zusammenhängenden Vortrag halten sollen. It's your monologue. Means the topic will be given to you, that is a text Vorgabe. I'll say text Vorgabe will be given to you. And then you'll be having the items, and you have to cover these items in your Vortrag, in your presentation. And for Expression-Teil 1 and Expression-Teil 2, zusammen, together you'll be having 15 minutes of your preparation. We say Vorbereitungszeit. So you have to divide your time accordingly. Means how much time we'll be investing for the preparation of your Expression-Teil 1 and how much time you'll be allocating to your preparation of your Expression-Teil 2. In your Vortrag, you have to cover all the points or the items given to you on your Aufgabenblatt. What you need to keep in mind, your Vortrag should be well structured, and you have to be very clear with your words. Means you should be that much clear that the person is able to understand your arguments. And in this style, it's important to state your opinion on the topic. And at the end, you'll be summarizing your arguments, and then you'll be concluding your Vortrag. Expression, pay attention to your Aussprache and Intonation. You have marks for your pronunciation, intonation. So please be careful with your pronunciation, as you cannot make now, pronunciation errors in C1 especially. Again, use good vocab, good expressions, correct grammar of everything. Means try to manage that whatever you're using is close, or we'll say is of C1 level. And then this time is, you have like 3 to 4 minutes. You have to complete your mini Vortrag or your Vortrag in your 3 to 4 minutes. So this was your Expression-Teil 1. Now we move on to the last part, that is your Expression-Teil 2. Now this is your Expression-Teil 2. In this style, you have a Gespräch, or we say conversation with your partner. The total time for this style is your 7 to 8 minutes. In this style, it's written like eine Lösung finden. A situation will be given to you, and different suggestions will be there, and or different proposals will be there. You have to discuss these suggestions or proposals with your partner, and you have to find the solution. It's basically your discussion with your partner a particular situation given to you or a problem given to you. So what you have to do in this style, it's important that you actively participate in your discussion. Don't let only your partner speak. It's not only he or she is speaking and you're just waiting for your chance. Make it a point that you have the discussion in your hand also. And whatever suggestions and proposals are given to you, try to cover all the proposals or the suggestions. While expression, you should be or one should be loud and clear enough. If you don't understand any argument or any question, then you can ask your partner to repeat. At the end, you have to come to common agreement. Means at the end, you have to agree, means you and your partner, both of you, you have to come to a common agreement. And Expression Tile 1 and Expression Tile 2, together, they are of 25 marks. Like I said earlier, this is your C1 level. And C1 level, flawlessness is expected. So you have to be flawless during your expression, and most important, be confident while expression. So this was your expression style of your C1 exam. So this was all about your Goethe C1 exam pattern. If you have any doubt or query, please write in the comment section. Please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel German Ki Baat. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for the notifications of our latest videos. Vielen Dank.